started Next Step simply because we had to find a solution to gun violence. When we first started, the majority of our participants were viewed as criminals, so we had difficult times getting family members to come visit their families while they were inside of the hospital. We had issues with the investigators who felt like if a person is shot, they're immediately a criminal, so we're just going to take all of their belongings into evidence, which ultimately left a patient with no clothes, no shoes, no cell phone, and no way to communicate with the outside world. And that's where we kind of came in to kind of soften that, or to build that bridge.
Some of the leaders in our security department raised their concerns to me about what they were seeing as a recurrent pattern of violence. So they'd see the same young people, mostly young men of color, coming into our emergency department with violent injuries. Their concern was that we were simply dealing with their medical issues and then sending them back into the same unsafe environments.
It's just very disheartening to see a young man laying on that bed, blood everywhere, not knowing if he's gonna live or die, watching his mother cry, you know? And I just think about, it's just senseless. It didn't have to happen that way.
So we started partnering with the city of Minneapolis, both with the police department and the public health department.
I wanted to make sure the Minneapolis Police Department could somehow, in some way, share the space with this new program called Next Step, where we could contribute to the hope as opposed to the hopelessness. And so I was absolutely thrilled to be a part of those early discussions. I will also tell you that I was a skeptic because it had never been done before.
The key to making Next Step work is trust. And I think that was the hardest thing to convince nursing staff of when we first started the program at HCMC. But over time, it has really proven to be a wonderful partnership. Connie and Farji really bridged the gap, not only for us with patients, but with families and really with the community.
All these individuals that come in here shot, yeah, they're some bad predicaments when they're outside. But once you meet them, you actually realize, like, your life is a lot like mine. The only thing is that you just got shot. You got caught in that situation. There is a way out. Let me help you find that way out. Because if you change your story, your life is going to change right along with it. Dorian, what's up, God? I'm in the parking lot.
Y'all go.
These individuals coming through recognize that they have a lot of needs and they need a lot of support. And they need support in a way that is authentic and meaningful.
Yeah.
We ain't scared to be in the hood.
No, we ain't scared at all. 10 toes down. Yes, indeed. I'll see you in a minute, Queen.
The staff from Next Step are credible. They have credibility with the individuals we're serving. They represent the communities we're serving. They offer an alternative to sort of traditional healthcare professionals, and that's not a knock on healthcare professionals. They do a great job, but they come at it from a certain viewpoint or a certain lens. And the Next Step staff really represent something that's sort of relatable and authentic, and I think participants really respond to that.
What I try to do is I try to come in and let them know that you got a second chance in life. There's purpose for you. Some of our young people don't have hope. They don't know that there's something greater that they could be doing. There's some purpose for them to be here, so they feel like their life is just, I might not live to 25, I might not live to 30, so what difference does it make? Or no one cares. But I want them to know that we care.
We offer them parking passes, meal vouchers, reparations, physical therapy, occupational therapy. Sometimes it's just one-on-one counseling. We also provide food, nourishment while they're inside the hospital and outside the hospital, because majority of the time they end up losing their jobs. And then we develop a goal plan. Some of them, relocation is number one. For some other ones, obtaining a driver's license might be number one. And we just knock down the list one by one.
I'm working. I'm glad I'm working. It's money coming in. It helping me find a place, helping me get myself back in school, just helping me go towards my goals and my dreams in life. I feel like the reason I got shot for me to have the reason to go out there and reach out toward the young generation to talk to them about it, for they won't go through it. I don't know where I'd be. I can't even say right now. I probably been doing the same old stuff that I was doing at first that wasn't good.
I really try to use a narrative medicine approach where I try to find out what's the story? What's the reason why you're here? I really try to take time and listen to that because I think that story is really important.
She's amazing to me, like absolutely amazing. She's very smart and she's innovative, and I look up to her a lot. She inspires me. I call it a mentorship more so than me being a participant, because I learned that no matter where I am, I'm enough and that I can keep on pushing forward, and there's purpose for me. And before it didn't seem like that.
You know, I ain't afraid because I know I ain't about that, you know, about positive, trying to spread that energy around. But yes, a lot of bad things that be happening and going around, but we're gonna get through it, you know, one step at a time, so yeah.
We've seen over 180. Out of those 180 people, it's only been three or four people that have returned to this hospital when they were expecting these guys to go out, get shot again, and come back. They don't go back outside and retaliate. They go back outside and figure out a way to make their lives better. They go to school, they go to work, they're better fathers to their children, they're better mothers to their children, because we deal with both male and female. I was one of those individuals, and I know that it's a fact that if I had somebody that came to me and gave me something positive to latch on to, I would have ran with it.
The Next Step program is going to expand, and I am proud because I was there from the beginning. I'm humbled by the work that Connie and Farji have done so far.
HCMC sees about half the trauma victims in Hennepin County, and North Memorial sees the other half. So by not serving North, we're doing a tremendous disservice to the community. So always there was an interest in expanding to North. I was very pleasantly surprised after our initial conversations with North how receptive the leadership was and how receptive the staff was.
The staff are very excited for it, and our ED providers, who see the vast majority of that, understand it and would like to try something different because the current structure hasn't worked.
I've gone to enough homicide scenes in my career, and I've seen the pain that has caused our communities, and that pain is real. I have seen the Next Step team save lives, prevent the next shooting, and have made it one less funeral that our communities have had to endure. Next Step brings hope to our city and our communities and to the lives of our young people. And so I'm very inspired by the work that Hennepin Healthcare's Next Step performs.
Whether they're involved in a gang, whether they were shot on their way to work, whether they, were accidentally shot, whatever it is, we're gonna be there.
This is what I was placed on earth to do. This is the role that I was given. Like, I was spared many a times, and I might not have known at those moments why my life was spared. This is why my life was spared.
We are forever grateful for how you go above and above and above beyond the resources we have given you. I promise you we are working to give you more resources. And we love you, and thank you so much for your work.
Just got more reality to say. Have y'all been shot at? Have you been shot? That's what we dealing with, and unfortunately I've been dealing with it for 30 plus years. It's time to change. These young men need an opportunity to grow and be the people that they are destined to be, not the names that they earn on the streets. So once y'all start realizing that and helping us, we'll be able to change this cycle of violence, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that. That's all I gotta say.
Guns down, peace up. Guns down, peace up.